Don't forget to check the chapters with over 50 new games in the Spring Easter sale, and we're gonna kick off with the most popular game right now.
You are Agent 47, the world's finest professional hitman.
World of Assassination Deluxe Edition does include a bunch of extra PSVR2 content, and it's currently 55% off right now. Just be sure to pay that $10 American for that PSVR2 upgrade on the PlayStation Store, download it and install it, then load the game to unlock the Ultimate Edition to literally become Agent 47. Almost 42,000 people have rated the flat and VR version combined, making it 4.38 out of 5 stars, with 83% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And just a few days ago, I made a video detailing all the DLC that currently works on the PSVR2, and it's way more than you probably think. But I'm just going to go over what's on sale here, but you can totally check that out if you want to know everything available for Hitman. But what's really cool is that with this deluxe edition, most of the content is VR compatible, starting with 2 new maps, New York and Haven Island, that are VR compatible, but the 2 Sniper Assassin maps are not in VR. However, when it comes to those unlockable deluxe items and suits, you will be able to use the Winter Sports Pack, which features the Snowball, Quick Draw, Pitten, Arctic Toolbox, and Winter Sports Suit. As well, the Smart Casual Pack includes the Smart Casual Suit, IO Elite S2VP earphones, and the ICA Flash Phone. The Executive Pack features the ICA Executive Briefcase, the ICA 19 Black Lily, and the Midnight Black Suit. And the Collector's Pack has a Remote Concussion Collector's Rubber Duck, and the Midnight Black Suit in that one as well. Interesting. The Special Assignment Packs number 1 and 2 are currently not available in VR. However, there are 6 deluxe escalations that are VR compatible, and are unique in that they offer more items and cosmetics as a reward for completing them. The digital soundtrack, digital World of Hitman book, and director commentary for the mission introduction is not available in VR, as far as I know. And what's really cool is that all 7 of the deadly sins are also playable in VR. This contains cosmetic items which are rewarded for completing these special escalation contracts. It claims that the levels feature unique game mechanics not found elsewhere in the trilogy. And nestled into the storyline, the 7 Deadly Sins hallucinations take place sometime after Agent 47 is poisoned in Mendoza. The next thing to mention is that there are 2 celebrity elusive targets which are VR compatible, but are separate paid DLC. Each has a cosmetic and item pack you can buy on the PlayStation Store. But the only one on sale is the Drop, and it's 30% off. And with that, you're getting the Club Boom DJ suit, the 12-inch vinyl sampler, 12-inch flight case, the red light flash grenade, and the base, a 2-level arcade contract featuring the Drop elusive target. As well, it says that you're getting a set of cosmetics for the Freelancer safe house inspired by the Drop mission. However, the Freelancer mode is not available in VR currently. Experience an all-new entry into the classic franchise with Alien Rogue Incursion Deluxe Edition, and it's 30% off. Over 1,400 people have rated this 4.5 out of 5 stars, with 88% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And with this deluxe edition, you are getting the base game, of course, along with the blue camo weapon skin, the blue camo armor skin, and the digital in-game art book. The fact that it says in-game art book, I am super curious as to whether this is following Metro Awakening's art book, because that one was displayed fully in VR where you walk around a virtual museum. In this game, you are an ex-marine named Zula Hendricks that is sent on a dangerous mission to investigate an SOS from the planet of Purdon, home to a long-defunct mining colony. With her ever-present synth companion Davis-01 for guidance, Zula must infiltrate the infested Gemini Exoplanet Solutions research facility and survive the threat of the most cunning xenomorphs ever encountered using stealth and serious firepower at her disposal. The authentic atmosphere and innovative VR gameplay features will have you get into the action with gameplay that uses your body as the input. Along with true-to-life motions like opening doors and picking up objects, you also have full-body in-game physical presence for holstering and loading weapons, accessing inventory, turning on lights, and much more. And you'll need all that confidence against these xenomorphs who behave just like their cinematic counterparts, actively hunting you throughout locations, crawling through ducts and tunnels, and jumping on and climbing objects within the world. Oh, that sounds truly awesome, and from what I understand, the game has received a few patches now that addressed a lot of the issues that were present at launch, so I do think this game is good to go.
Okay.
I think Grandpa.
How long has it been?
20 minutes.
Why did I agree to do this?
MADiSON is an immersive and terrifying first-person psychological horror game, and it's currently 30% off. Featuring disturbing gameplay and an unsettling, compelling narrative. Over 700 people have rated this 4.56 out of 5 stars, with 89% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I gotta say, these guys actually nailed the theme down. Not that I know anything from experience, but everything I've researched, they absolutely captured the essence of all of the lore and the theme behind this. So I really don't want to spoil this for you guys, because I do think part of the experience was not knowing anything about the game, jumping into it fully. That said, I am super excited to share with you guys. I did actually post a video called I Know the Best Way to Play MADiSON, and hands down I do think that is the only way to play this game. I'm not going to get into it. Please remember, this is a flat screen game that was ported to VR, so all the objects in the rooms and stuff, you're not going to be able to interact with everything. Normally you'd walk up to the area and see an icon, and then you know you can interact with it. Whereas in my video, I'm showing you how to turn all of that off. So I highly encourage you, if you're going to get this game and you want to play it the most immersive way possible, hands down, that is the way. That said, this game is not for everybody. It is the scariest game I have ever played, for sure. The most jump scares, the most panic attacks, essentially. So I just had to show the wife because she's totally petrified of the dark and avoids anything and everything scary, especially anything spiritual or to do with hauntings.
Oh, why am I going through here?
Months ago, before we got the second PSVR2, she said she'd be willing to play anything in VR to support the channel, and that's before she knew that this game even existed. Awesome.
What's that? I don't like it, 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 I don't like it.
That said, the deal was she would play up until a certain save point and then continue if we could get 100 likes. So that's where I'm at, around 60 likes, and now I seriously need your help to support my endeavor here and go straight to that video right now and just click that like button to make her continue playing the game. And it's right when it's gonna get really intense. Even when things aren't going down, the atmosphere is so well done. You know, you feel really tense throughout the entire experience. So that's all I want to say about it. I do want you to get the game if you can play it. But this is a straight up horror puzzle game. You will not have the ability to defend yourself with any weapons or anything like that. So yeah, heads up. But that said, I do want everybody to experience this game, because it really does show you how VR transforms the entire gaming experience. I'm telling you, man, I've never played the flat screen game. I do not need to. VR is the way to go on this one for sure. Don your gas mask, wield handmade weapons, and venture into the depths of this apocalyptic nightmare in Metro Awakening Deluxe Edition. And it's 34% off. Almost 2,000 people have rated it 4.48 out of 5 stars, with 87% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In the year 2028, the survivors of nuclear war cling to the existence in the buried subways of the Moscow Metro, which has become civilization's last refuge and tomb, where spirits haunt the living in this man-made purgatory. You are a doctor searching for your wife as you brave the crippling radiation, darkness, and deadly threats of the Metro, desperately trying to find the medication she needs. As your courage and sanity are pushed to the limit, you must learn to walk the line between life and death, the spiritual and the material world, and awaken the being you must become. And what you're getting with this package, obviously the base game and some goodies, as you're seeing a complete list right here. First, you're getting this VR concept art gallery, which isn't in the traditional two-dimensional flip art style that we've seen in every other video game. This is an actual VR environment that you're walking around and looking at some of the objects. I personally, again, haven't experienced this before, but what I'm seeing here on Reddit, that's exactly what it sounds like. So really cool implementation there. As well, you're getting the Nautilus hide backpack, skeletal gloves, toy charm, and the fallen patch. And from what I understand, this is only cosmetics. There are no actual bonuses for wearing these in-game. I think they're just skins altogether, but again, that has to do with the original Metro games. If you played them before, which I haven't, I can't speak to it. Get some sort of nostalgic flair from that, I'm not too sure. Either way, I've only heard great things about this game, and I do know there was a major patch that fixed some lighting issues that were present at launch. Anyone in the comments that can speak to this, if you played it, loved it, or hated it, that would be awesome. Let us know whether or not there's anything we should expect, any wonkiness, or if this game's good to go. Vertigo 2 is a single-player action-adventure built from the ground up for VR, and it's 35% off right now. Over 800 people have rated this 4.32 out of 5 stars, with 82% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. This game has an incredible range of environments that makes Vertigo 2 a constantly fresh adventure. You'll have to face bizarre alien flora and fauna leaking from other universes. It includes both smooth locomotion and teleportation. You can carry an arsenal of 14 weapons, all with unique reload mechanics. Right on. As well, this has a diverse cast that brings the many characters of Vertigo 2 to life. At 10 hours long, Vertigo 2 gives a full-fledged single-player experience with replayability that allows you to blaze through the game a second time, taking branching paths with brand new weapons, enemies, and bosses. And that sounds completely awesome. The only negative, and I mean the only negative I'm hearing about this game, is that it doesn't have a consistent smooth frame rate. I'm not sure if that's throughout the entire game, but from what I understand, it's only inconsistent when it comes to the large open outdoor areas. I personally have not played this yet, but I'm very interested in getting this, and I did just get the PS5 Pro recently, and I did hear that it runs better on it, but I do believe everyone everywhere when they say that this game is a must-have if you own the PSVR 2. The sequel from the classic Rush of Blood from the PSVR 1 comes the next generation of roller coaster arcade horror in the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, and it's 33% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 43% off total. Over 2,300 people have rated it 4.22 out of 5 stars, with 81% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And even though this is a great rating, it truly is hindered from a disastrous launch, with many claiming that it looked like a blurry PSVR 1 game. I'm so glad I waited to actually play the game for that patch to come out and fix everything, and I can say I have played it all the way through since that patch, and yes, it is absolutely beautiful. Everything feels really smooth during the gameplay. I did not experience any of the stuff that people were originally reporting, so hands down, Supermassive Games, you totally fixed everything. You made the game awesome. And I really feel compelled now, everyone out there who's heard other reviewers talk about Rush of Blood and how this didn't live up to it, I actually had the opposite experience. I loved Rush of Blood, man. I mean, loved it. And I feel this game is better. I really do. So maybe it's the theme for some people, but I played this after the patch and it felt like I was living in this virtual nightmare. The sound, the 3D audio, you know, is next gen on its own.
Oh, it sounds like somebody's right here, man. Right there whispering. I got a bit of chill.
To see the 4K HDR graphics.
Yep, that fire is incredible. Whoa!
Having my head touch actual branches with headset haptics.
Right on, seriously, I was just about to say.
Being in the dark, seeing these shadows fly around you.
Oh yes, that audio.
Seeing fire light up the room the way it did, it just like, you know, I almost felt the heat, no joke. Everything was so well done, so immersive. I really encourage anyone to get this game because all you need to do is just sit down throughout the entire experience. Again, this is for almost all ages.
What's this, times 10 and times 1? Oh, I see. So those are worth 10. And those little bottles are worth 1. Move your head to avoid obstacles. Oh, neat, guys. Oh, I took that in the head. I felt that too. That's nice.
And unlike Rush of Blood, the amount of times that I had jump scares in this game.
That was incredible. My whole body's still feeling the chills, man.
I do not remember that in Rush of Blood. I remember the entire experience was a lot of fun, arcade-like. This took the atmosphere to another level.
Oh, that's weird. Oh man, I want to look at the water, but I can't. That's awesome. Feel that. Nice.
And then they include, unlike Rush of Blood, a new Horde mode, and this is for free. It did not launch with the game, so if you do own it, you've never played this before, go on the PlayStation Store, look up Switchback VR, and then find that add-on pack for free. Do play this. This is a lot of fun. To think the game is now $19.99 on sale Canadian, half off essentially if you're a PlayStation Plus member. You absolutely need this in your libraries, and if you just played this before the patch, you need to reinstall the game and load it back up and see how dramatically different the game has been since launch. Become the demon in Metal Hellsinger VR, and it's 30% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. 179 people rated this 4.44 out of 5 stars, with 87% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Step into the half-demon body of the unknown and feel the pulse of metal rage through you. Quite simply, shoot to the beat to make the music unfold and your power grow. See the world around you pulsate to the rhythm and be unburdened by a traditional interface. This totally reminds me of Pistol Whip, but unlike Pistol Whip, where you're moving forward at all times, it looks like you're moving around in a full 3D environment here, like a giant arena. And of course, unlike Pistol Whip, where it's more the electronic dance genre, this is all about the death metal, man. The multi-award-winning original soundtrack composer duo, Two Feathers, have created a thunderous original score with vocals by metal icons such as System of a Down, Lamb of God, Arch Enemy, and much more. And as you can see from the list of awards and nominations here, these guys nailed the audio in the music in the gameplay. Amazing. Seriously, I'm gonna have to grab this game as soon as I can. And now that the game's been out for a little while, it does have some DLC that you can grab, and they're all on sale right now. The first one being Metal Hellsinger VR Purgatory. It's normally 20% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can save 5% more, making it 25% off total. And that Purgatory DLC contains 3 new songs that I'm showing you right here if you want to pause and take a look, as well as new weapons and new cosmetic skins. And the second DLC they're offering is called Metal Hellsinger VR Essential Hits Pack, and it's 20% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. In this Essentials pack, you're seeing a plethora of old school songs that totally took me down memory lane here, and some of them including Gorillaz, Feel Good Inc., and Muse Uprising. And that's what took me by surprise here. You know, some of these songs totally do not fit the death metal genre, but when I'd seen the actual trailer for this game, I was like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun for sure. And the last one they're offering is called Metal Hellsinger VR Dream of the Beast, and it's 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. And with this pack, you are getting 2 new songs that I'm showing you right here if you want to pause and take a look, as well as a brand new weapon and 3 outfits with passive effects. Very cool. You know, with all of those awards and nominations, and with that epic campaign, and just knowing that this game is literally Pistol Whip, but totally reinvented in full 3D with that death metal genre. And if all of the content interests you, you can now get the complete edition at 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. From the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation VR2, Rez Infinite is currently 50% off right now. Over 6,400 people have rated this 4.5 out of 5 stars, with 86% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And to speak to this from experience, I did try this on PSVR1. I did not play this on PS2, 20 some years ago. However, I was really disappointed on PSVR1, I gotta say. The first level, it was just like 2 or 3 enemies coming at me, and I was like, okay, I really did not get the addictive factor whatsoever in all the awards that I won. And then I rolled the dice, paid the upgrade path, and I'm so happy that I did, because the game is so much better than the PSVR1 version. It really is. With the 4K HDR OLED display, this game literally shines. It is gorgeous. Honestly, so cool. Such a trip. And I can't believe this game existed like 20 years ago. Legit, as you're seeing it, but on flat screen. So really bizarre that this actually adapts very well to the VR medium. You can choose to take advantage of the eye tracking technology, where you're just looking and it locks onto the enemies this way. But I highly recommend just using your VR Sense controllers and aiming manually that way. And it was so much fun. So much fun. And unlike the PSVR1 or the PS2 versions, this one includes an Area X mode. Tetris Effect Connected is the coolest version of the most iconic game, and it's 40% off right now. Over 6,600 people have rated it 4.59 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And I gotta say, I grew up with the Tetris for sure. I do think this is the best version by far. Love the VR medium, love the effects, but it's the way that the actual game adapts to every rotation, every movement you do. It actually has that sound effect connect with you in game. It's like you're actually integrated into it. It's really hard to describe that to you, but unlike the PSVR1 that I did play and I thought it was good, the particle effects were not that great on PSVR1. In this game, everything shines so brilliant, so colorful, so vibrant, so smooth. And I have to hammer this in. All of you out there, like me, who are playing PSVR2 and you gotta wait for your 2 Sense controllers to charge at like an hour, this is when you put in Tetris and use your dual Sense controller and play that way. And before you know it, you've had a few games, all of a sudden your PSVR Sense controllers are charged. So for that alone, just having another PSVR2 game to play while your controllers are charging, awesome. There's a journey mode, that campaign, that's what I'm doing. It just throws you into an area and then you start start playing. It's really interesting. And the connected part, they have this online multiplayer mode with up to 4 other people or 3 other people at the same time. I have not played it before, but if it's anything like the original Game Boy, where you deplete one of your lines and it goes on to somebody else's screen, that sounds awesome to me. Again, I do highly recommend, if you have this on PSVR1, just pay that upgrade fee instead of buying it again. Much cheaper, and it is totally worth it. Now, it's time to play the real Tetris, made with full VR mechanics. This is Vetrix Worlds, and it's 50% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Only 41 people have rated it 4.51 out of 5 stars, with 90% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And what I mean by the real Tetris in VR, as you can see on screen here, you're actually having to use your physical hands to grab the actual blocks and rotate them, you know, realistically, and place them in that area. So cool. And you can do this playing, again, competitively against somebody beside you, or cooperatively where they're on the opposite side working on the other layer. There's 2 layers of Tetris blocks going on there, one in the foreground and one in the background. So unlike Tetris, you're getting that full 3D effect where you're using the block and rotating it forward and backward, not just left and right. Very cool, guys. Awesome.
There's no turning back now. Or so the saying goes.
Our beloved hero Quill is back in another epic adventure in Moss Book 2, and it's 35% off. Over 1,800 people have rated it 4.8 out of 5 stars, with 95% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Right on. I do own this game but haven't played it yet, so I can't speak to this from personal experience, but from what I'm hearing everywhere, the sequel does live up to the original and more. Quill is back and better than ever, but this time she's being hunted by those who seek to unmake this world and are desperate for the glass she holds, and they'll stop at nothing to claw it from her grasp. You must help Quill venture deep inside the Hex Castle of the Arcane, where dangerous terrain, challenging puzzles, and enemies twisted in fire and steel await. The journey will be trying, filled with triumph and heartbreak alike, but new allies, old friends, and the very nature of the castle itself can offer help along the way. Yet in the end, it is only you alone who can lift Quill up to save this world and together rise to legend. Fight, work out, and dance to an intense synthwave soundtrack in Masters of Light, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Only 20 people have rated this 4.6 out of 5 stars, with 85% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And nobody has scored this 2 or 1 yet. Shadows are threatening the galaxy, and it's up to you to join the fight and conquer 36 levels with unlimited replay. Unleash pinpoint accuracy with the PSVR2 eye tracking and feel the thrill of every attack with the Sense Controller haptics, and amplifying the intensity of each battle through its headset haptics. And just recently, the game has had a significant patch, now allowing PSVR2 users to play the game the way the developer originally intended, using the latest hand tracking feature. I've never played this game before and really don't know how to play this, to be honest, but every time I see this trailer, I'm immediately taken back by the music and feel this one could be trippy as fuck. Anyone in the comment section, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that sale price.
We can solve this problem once and for all.
They're trying to make a vaccine. You want to come? Good dog, buddy!
Arizona Sunshine 2, the next-gen sequel to the fan-favorite VR Apocalypse, is currently 40% off right now. Over 2,600 people have rated it 4.53 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. I gotta say, I did play the first one, beat it all the way through, thought the game was good, but man, after seeing the trailers for Arizona Sunshine 2, this does look like the full next-gen title that I've been waiting for. In a post-apocalyptic world where every bullet counts, experience the thrill of realistic combat as you wield all new and fan-favorite weapons. And what's really kick-ass, man, that I've been waiting to play this game, you can enjoy the full campaign in 2-player co-op mode. As well, you can join up to 3 other players in 4-player co-op Horde mode, and they've already released an abundance of maps for the actual Horde mode, so very cool, man. They put a lot of love and attention to this game and then included all this extra DLC. And what's better than braving the end of the world than surviving it with your new best friend, Buddy? Not only is Buddy your four-legged companion through thick and thin, he's also the goodest boy and will help take down those pesky Freds for you. And they really put a spotlight on this dog, man. There's even extra skins like an undead doggy and, you know, another breed of dog, the Corgi altogether, which is really weird but looks really cool. Everyone in the past that's commented on this game whenever it's gone on sale has only said great things about this game, seriously. And again, if you have a friend to play with or friends to play with, only better from what I'm hearing. And what's really cool, for those that didn't get to experience the first game, Arizona Sunshine, you can now get the new Arizona Sunshine Freddy's bundle at 35% off. And this bundle simply puts both games together at an even better price for those that don't already own the original on PSVR1. Otherwise, I recommend upgrading the first game for like 10 bucks and then getting the Deluxe separately there on sale. And I just have to speak to this really quick. Arizona Sunshine on the PSVR1. I did experience that co-op mode and I thought it was good. Again, good. That's the best way to describe it. But the mechanics were not polished like Farpoint. I'm totally expecting the game to look as good as it is on the trailer. However, I'm hoping the actual mechanics, the gameplay, the controls are much better than what I remember on the PSVR1, just saying. What I didn't realize is that this remake actually offers all of the DLC from the first game. Very cool, man. Being honest, I don't think I played any of the DLC. I just played the original campaign all the way through with my friend and I was kind of done with it after that. So, and of course, they've kept that intact. You can play the original campaign in co-op mode on Arizona Sunshine Remake, as well as the 4-player Horde mode, and I do believe that was already available on the PSVR1, so nothing different there from what I remember. And then they are claiming to have taken the Arizona Sunshine 2 mutilation and gore system and bringing it into Arizona Sunshine Remake, so that's really cool. As well, I feel it's very important to mention that Arizona Sunshine, if you didn't know, the original game did receive Best VR Game of the Year by Upload VR in 2016, Best Virtual Reality Game of 2017 by Dutch Game Awards, and Best HTC Vive First Person Shooter in 2016 by the Vive Awards. And just to remind you again, if you do own the game on the PSVR1, do pay that upgrade fee before buying this on sale at that sale price. I hear something. And the other most amazing multiplayer game everyone else needs to get. This is After the Fall Deluxe Edition, and it's 75% off. Over 1,200 people have rated this 3.96 out of 5 stars, with 72% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And with the Deluxe Edition, you are getting the exclusive PSVR2 skin, the official soundtrack, and the digital art book.
Let's go.
That said, I did just play this expecting to play it for maybe half an hour, thinking this is a PSVR1 game, it's going to be revamped, it's going to be okay, I'll get bored with it within half an hour. And no, man, right when loading the game, you know, I was taken back knowing this is a PSVR1 game, but they did just upgrade the whole thing, and it does look like a hybrid of PSVR1 and PSVR2 graphics. Like, it's got that clarity with this dynamic lighting and all these particle effects, and it looks really good. I mean, like, really good. If you didn't know, this game actually does have a free upgrade, so if you did buy this back in the day, man, you are going to want to pop this in and play this again for sure. Unlike the PSVR1, this does include the PSVR2 Sense haptics. You do feel that difference. Even when I'm rolling over an icon to selecting an object, you know, I do feel that special haptic sensation. The adaptive triggers immediately noticeable, even with the guns to using a light gun on an arcade display cabinet there. The headset haptics, you know, were immediately evident when I got hit in the head. The touch sensitivity was there right when I loaded the game. I could see all my fingers curling. The only one that didn't was the actual trigger finger. That's it. But I mean, come on.
That snow slush actually looks really good. It has depth, has transparency, and it has that three-dimensional effect to it. Like, it looks like frozen water that's just about to become a puddle of water.
And as I'm sitting there getting a feel for the lobby, I'm hearing the music and I'm like, wow, this reminds me of Stranger Things. And then it dawns on me that this tech all around me is from the 80s. What a wicked aesthetic to everything. And then the soundtrack. So it is like the apocalypse happened in the late 80s or early 90s. And all that tech is still remaining there as you're exploring everything. Again, what I didn't expect is they throw you into the game and then I'm walking around and I realized, oh, wait a sec, I'm in a giant lobby of people. They're walking around with me in this like giant arcade. I totally dig how they incorporated the lobby within the game instead of me feeling like I'm jumping into a multiplayer mode. You know, the game just has me in the lobby, but it doesn't feel like a lobby, if that makes sense. Again, what I didn't expect is, aside from the fun factor of playing the game, I got to play with 3 AI friends. I didn't want to jump in with anybody because I didn't want to screw with their game. Got a feel for everything, and the run itself, just what they call a harvest run. You're going out and you're trying to defeat as many zombies as possible, get as many points by defeating them. You see these little glowing orbs, roll over, just simply walk over it, collect it. After you've done a section of the game, game, you get to a safe house where you can recharge, use some of that currency you earn to buy boosters or health or whatever, but you're trying to keep as much of that as possible, so when you're done like 3 sections of that run, you return home and then you can upgrade your weapons to either new guns or new add-ons to the guns. And that whole section in that lobby is awesome, where you go in and you adjust your gun. Again, the whole theme, the whole aesthetic really did take me back. I wasn't expecting it to be so well done. And again, I do have to admit, I see this game on sale all the time. This is the best price at 70% off. So knowing this game is really cheap pretty much on the regular, and I'm getting such a top tiered experience here. But that free upgrade is only available to anyone that purchased this game before the launch of the PSVR2. So if you do have the disc version on PS4, you can contact Vertigo directly, show them a proof of purchase, and they will honor it and give you that free digital upgrade. But yeah, unfortunately, anyone that did buy this after the launch of the PSVR2, they will not honor it. It's only for those that did own this before the PSVR2 launch, just as a heads up.
Epsilon, come in. Get out of there ASAP. Now. Run!
Red Matter has been heavily upgraded for the PSVR2, and it's currently 45% off. Over 1,400 people have rated this 4.68 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. As Agent Epsilon in Red Matter, you'll investigate a top-secret research project on Rhea, one of Saturn's moons, decipher hidden messages and mechanisms using an array of high-tech tools in a surreal, high-detail, brutalist environment. But beware, the truth you uncover may be darker than you ever imagined. And I have to say, I did just play this again for the first time on the PSVR2, and I felt like the entire game looked much better, and that could have been just because everything was sharp and clean at the 4K HDR OLED display here. But the room scale, me walking around freely, full 360, being able to interact with everything with no tracking issues whatsoever, the adaptive triggers, the controls, everything just felt way better. So yes, even though you might have played this on the PSVR 1 a long time ago, there is a free upgrade for Red Matter 1. I do highly recommend you put it in and play it for a couple more hours, play it all over, and then go play Red Matter 2. Plan your assault or orchestrate your defense as a team through intense close quarters combat in Breachers, and it's 40% off. If you're a PlayStation Premium member, you can check out the game for a full hour to see whether or not it's your flavor. But 700 people rated this 4.32 out of 5 stars, with 83% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Unlike a lot of the other first-person shooters, this game strictly focuses on team-based combat, where one team will play as the Enforcers and the other as the Revolters. Your goal as an Enforcer is to eliminate your enemies and disarm their bombs with an EMP, repel and blow up walls, swing through windows, and catch your opponents by surprise with gadgetry like drones, cloaking devices, flashbangs, and breaching foam. Your goal as a Revolter is to prevent your enemies from disarming your bomb by terminating them before they do so. Use door blockers, trip mines, static field emitters, and proximity sensors to defend your position. To ensure victory, purchase and customize your extensive weaponry to your liking at the start of each round. Every gun, whether it's pistols, SMGs, shotguns, or assault rifles, can be modified with attachments to suit your needs. And they did just release this competitive update months ago, and this completely rewards you for going on daily. Literally, this is all about putting all your time into it. That said, they are offering some credits that you can spend on a variety of gun skins to customize the look of your weapons by simply heading into the armory in the main menu scene. To begin, Tier 1 offers 300 credits at 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Tier 2 offers 1,000 credits at 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off as well. Tier 3 offers 1,500 credits at 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Tier 4 offers 2,500 credits, again 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. And the last tier is offering 6,000 credits at 40% off, but again, PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Do not spend your money on any of these credits and just get another game that's totally on sale, or just get my favorite game on the PSVR2, which is Pavlov, and that's cheaper than that tier 5 credit price. That's crazy. Crossfire Sierra Squad is a hugely popular multiplayer first-person shooter campaign, and it's 35% off right now. Under 2,000 people have rated this 4 out of 5 stars, with 75% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 10% did give this 1 star. And I can speak to this really quick. The launch of the game did have a ton of bugs. Then a month or two later, they totally rectified everything. And then another month later, they actually add another massive patch that fixed all the introduction levels. After a few updates now of the game since launch, I can recommend it at that price. And unlike all the other first-person shooters that focus on the online competitive multiplayer, this is about the campaign co-op as well as the squad-based missions. So cool. And it does include 39 types of weapons, featuring pistols, rifles, throwable and throw-backable grenades and sniper rifles with revolutionary scope mechanics, giving you plenty of options to dispatch 17 types of enemies. And in classic arcade fashion, you'll engage with heavy artillery like helicopters and LAVs. The one thing I highly recommend, because I did play the game all the way through on the default, which was arcade, I did not like it. You need to play realism mode. I'm showing you right now when you buy the game, just change that to realism. And with that, you're going to actually take your enemies down with 1 or 2 bullets. That said, you will also go down in 1 or 2 hits. So it totally encourages you to take cover at all times, which I absolutely love playing in full room scale VR. Playing that way feels the way that I wanted the game to begin with. So I ended up playing it all the way through, unfortunately arcade. Thankfully, letting you guys know, go the realism route right away. Highly recommend that. And then there are 50 squad missions for single player or 2-player co-op on top of the 13 campaign missions. And of course, they have this 4-player horde mode co-op, which I've never played before. So the replayability, the amount of content is absolutely there. So yeah, really cool that we have that option to play a first-person shooter campaign-based game.
Welcome to Townsmen VR.
Combining elements of a god game simulation and a classic city builder, Townsmen VR is considered a hidden gem by many in the community, and it's 50% off! Over 400 people have rated it 4.3 out of 5 stars, with 83% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Start with a small settlement and expand over a world in a fully voiced campaign and story arching over 13 islands. Build more than 20 unique buildings and upgrade them while you immerse yourself in a thrilling story with many exciting quests, or simply play without restrictions in the sandbox mode with goals set by you. As the population grows, so does the demand for food and goods. Production chains help you see this need. Build farms, grind the grain harvested at the mill, and bake delicious bread for your townies. But what if your mill won't operate without a breeze? Simply give the mechanism a push with your hands. Amongst other things, you can slap lazy workers with a fish or help citizens collect about 20 different raw materials. See the world you helped create from the view of a townsman. Yep, you can shrink yourself to experience your town at eye level with your townies. Eventually, you'll recruit brave soldiers and build catapults, bows, and crossbows to protect your island from the Black Knight's raiding henchmen. But don't worry, your personal advisor, Sir Clunkalot, will accompany you on your virtual tour of the medieval age with valuable tips. Darksword Battle Eternity is a captivating VR action RPG, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Only 56 people have rated this 4.09 out of 5 stars, with 74% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. This game offers an unparalleled experience of fast-paced combat in a dark fantasy setting. Engage in exhilarating hack-and-slash battles where you can develop a unique combat style, take advantage of enemy weaknesses, and amass materials for crafting superior weaponry. Embark on an epic battle against relentless enemies, aiming for the top floor as you grow stronger along the way. Randomized power-up skills render each run different every time. Darksword combines the thrill of VR with the depth of action RPGs, ensuring a rich and varied experience for all players. Everything from I'm seeing in the trailer here, it does remind me a lot of Until You Fall, but anybody who owns the game that can speak to this, if you can please let us know whether or not we should get this game at that sale price, that would be awesome.
Hellsweeper.
Feel like a Sith Lord in the most incredible VR combat game I've ever experienced. This is Hellsweeper VR, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Over 650 people rated this 4.31 out of 5 stars, with 83% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And this has got to be the most incredibly complicated, awesome combat system I've ever played in any video game whatsoever. Quite literally, the more time that you put into this game, the more options you choose and play with, the more that this becomes an extension of your body. Legit, it took me about 5 or 6 hours of playing around just to get the actual controls that I wanted for this game, and it was well worth it. I legit now feel like John Wick in VR. It's incredible. And just to speak to this, I've literally put in approximately 30 hours into this game and I've hardly scratched the surface. I keep sticking to the same weapons and guns and stuff because I'm still ranking them up. I'm still progressing in the game. And then there's a whole slew of other weapons that totally transform the entire game experience, literally, that I've yet to unlock and touch. And then there's the actual co-op mode where you can play with a friend and then combine your weapons and powers at the same time. Every time this game's on sale, I keep trying to show everybody how this is the most incredible combat system in any game I've ever played before. I keep telling people this is for the VR veteran. What I mean by that is you're not going to get motion sick. It's just that there's so many options to play this game. And the actual default controls, man, I totally hated. You know, jumping into the game right away. Had I just stuck with that, I would not have been playing with it more than for half an hour to an hour. And then they just released this Resurgence update that includes the original chick from Sariento from the first PSVR. And man, I loved that game. So much so that I platinumed it. And that is one of the hardest games on PSVR1, just saying. But it's not difficult once you become accustomed to the controls. That's all it is. That's what I'm hammering in here, guys. Man, you can actually have the John Wick experience in VR if you just play with your settings. I had to go through the entire thing, comb through every section, and completely change everything. And I'm so happy that I did. And the most recent update, Alliance, now allows up to 3 players to play together in co-op as well. This also includes a new game mode called Gauntlet with a brand new boss to conquer, as well as a brand new night and day mechanic that alters the balance of foes and rewards, along with a slew of other goodies. I am gonna have to make a video for you guys, but do grab this game at 50% off, hands down. It is so worth that. I mean, again, at least 30 hours for me right now, and I'm gonna put another 30 if not more. And the next arcade cartoon railroad shooter, GAZZLERS will keep you on your toes as you'll have to physically aim, block, and dodge your way through waves of bullet hell goodness. And it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. 147 people rated this 4.44 out of 5 stars, with 85% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. So this does look like an on-rails arcade shooter, quite simply, but it's saying that when you die, every time you die, you take your scrap with you and then you upgrade your skill tree and try again, stronger than ever. Complete daily and weekly challenges and earn even more scrap. With each new weapon or upgrade, you'll find impacts your gun and your playstyle. Combine found parts into the ultimate weapon. Really cool, guys. Garden of the Sea is considered the Animal Crossing in VR, and it's 50% off right now. Over 200 people have rated this 4.33 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Garden of the Sea invites you to play and explore at your own pace. If you're looking for progression and adventure, you will find it. If you're looking for relaxation, stay where you are and let the world gently take its course. This includes reactional music, where the melodies of the world become one with your experience. Very cool. In this game, you're gonna craft decor for your garden, befriend local creatures, go fishing for new friends to hang out in your pond. You can upgrade your house and decorate it to feel like your home, cook new dishes with the veggies you've grown yourself, stay up all night, go exploring with your boat, complete quests to unlock new adventures, creatures, and more. Encourage your animal friends to make babies. It says it's totally safe for work. And just to reiterate, I mean, I'm not an Animal Crossing fan, but all I've heard is that if you love Animal Crossing, this is the VR version to get for sure. It's a surprise hit, apparently. VR Skater is designed from the ground up for VR to give you the most authentic, challenging, and immersive skating game ever. And it's 67% off. If you are a PlayStation Premium member, you can try the full game for an hour and a half, but over 300 people have rated it 4.08 out of 5 stars, with 75% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Feel like you're really skating with the most innovative input mechanics, allowing you the board control you've always dreamt of. Moving your hands in the same motions you would follow with your feet gives a perspective and level of control never before seen, and the sense of fulfillment experienced upon perfectly executing even the most basic tricks is something that never leaves you. I've personally never skated before, so I have no attachment to skateboarding whatsoever, but apparently this is going to help you master the art of street skateboarding, and you'll be guided through flip tricks, grab tricks, grinds, slides, and manuals, enabling you to conquer each of these skills to carve out skating lines and combos during game run, all of which each helps you rack up those points for that all-time high score. You'll skate across 7 stunning urban environments, as well as the mega ramp. Test your mettle by launching yourself across the chasm. Enjoy experience points, medals, trophies, leaderboards, and the VR Skater Shop, where you can exchange your hard-earned XP and swap out your grip tape, trucks, wheels, and of course that all-important board artwork. And they do offer some DLC, some of those FX trucks there that you're seeing here, but it's not on sale sale currently, and they do have an extra map that's called the SL Pro Series Tour, and it's not on sale as well. However, you can get VR Skater Pro Bundle, and it's 25% off, and this bundle includes that base game with that SL Pro Series Tour, which is a bunch of maps, actually 5 brand new maps total, inspired by professional street skateboarding championships with smooth concrete terrain, as you're seeing right here. These are actual competitive arenas built for skateboarding indoors. Very cool. And with these maps, they bring with them new exciting game modes and mechanics, which that's all I can speak to. I have no idea what those are. Anyone in the comments section, if you do own the game and know what that's about, please let us know. And what's really weird, after doing the math here, it's actually cheaper to get the base game on sale and then buy the DLC at regular price than buying this Pro Bundle that includes the base game and that DLC. You know, am I missing something? I have no idea. Very bizarre. 90s Extreme Skiing is your backstage pass to the raddest era of video games, and it's currently 20% off. 67 people have rated this 4.24 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. From the same developers of the skiing adventure Snow Scout, this is an exclusive title for the PSVR2 and boasts crystal clear visuals with 90 frames per second refresh rate, and includes sense and headset haptics that make every turn, jump, and gnarly wipeout feel legit. With 20 blazing fast downhill races across 8 ski resorts, you'll drop massive airs, grind like a maniac, and claim medal after medal in your way to glory with 20 online leaderboards and a soundtrack of 20 tracks that were actually produced in the 90s. Awesome. I personally have never skied before in real life, but from what I've read, the people that do love the skiing have reported that they thoroughly enjoyed this game overall. The only real consistent negative I'm hearing is that you have to calibrate after loading to a new area in order to ensure that your skis line up properly with your body. Other than that, this does sound like it will satisfy the sensation of downhill skiing. Anyone in the comments, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. Zip, sneak, and stab your way through enemy-filled offices in an action-adventure stealth game where robots are replacing humans in the workforce, and you're next in Budget Cuts Ultimate, and it's 35% off. 112 people have rated it 4.28 out of 5 stars, with 84% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Bringing together the complete Budget Cuts 1 and Budget Cuts 2 games, this epic includes all previously released Budget Cuts content. This is an action-adventure stealth game set in a dystopian office-scape with tons of evil robots and even more knives for throwing and stabbing them with. Use your translocator to teleport through the offices, trains, factories, rooftops, and other secret departments of Transcorp. Find weapons to throw at unsuspecting robots, or take down a guard that has spotted the intruder, or avoid combat entirely by finding sneaky alternate routes and clever hiding spots. Solve puzzles with the help of tools and clues, and befriend sarcastic characters in this tongue-in-cheek adventure. How you approach each combat situation is entirely up to you, your imagination, and the number of knives you can hold in your hands. And this does include total customization with teleport, snap, and smooth turning, all with adjustable speeds. Very cool, guys. The cartoon comedy Border Agent Simulator BorderBots VR is currently 50% off. 113 people have rated this 4.57 out of 5 stars, with 93% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And quite simply, this is a puzzle simulation set on a future Earth where AI is in control. As a human border agent, you begin a new role as a booth operator at an AI travel border. Interact and check over a variety of robots as they try to get through security. Some of their credentials might not be up to scratch, and it's up to you to make sure that they get the stamp of approval. And this game is actually supposed to be quite funny to play. I have not experienced this before, but again, just reading general reviews, most people leave this game quite happy. I personally have been putting this game off because it does remind me a lot about Job Simulator, but I've heard that it is not Job Simulator. So again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to this game, please do let us know whether or not we should get this at the sale price. If you love the Guitar Hero or Rock Band, you'll want to get Drums Rock, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Over 1,100 people have rated it 4.26 out of 5 stars, with 79% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And if you're unsure whether or not the game is for you, definitely check out that Drums Rock free demo right now. And that's what I did, and I was able to get an actual sense of flavor of what the game felt like, and I was totally impressed with the actual haptics on the controllers, as well as the headset haptics. I didn't actually check out the eye tracking for the score, didn't play it enough, but yes, this is sit down, pick up and play, instant action. Aside from the arcade aspect, the game actually does feature a full-fledged 4-hour campaign and then fight 2 bosses along the way. Very cool. The game does keep getting all of this love and support, so much DLC going on, and speaking of which, you can get the Power Metal Music Pack at 25% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 35% off total. The Power Metal Music Pack includes Hearts on Fire by Hammerfall, King for a Day by Battle Beast, Blood of the Elves by Blind Guardian, When Angels Kill by Fifth Angel, and Higher by Northtail. This is the Simple Plan Music Pack, and it's 30% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 40% off total. And with this bundle, you're going to get Welcome to My Life by Simple Plan, Shut Up, Crazy, and Time to Say Goodbye. That said, if you love the Guitar Hero and want that in VR, Unplugged air guitar is currently 60% off right now. Over 340 people have rated it 3.44 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I do have to say from experience, I did buy this on sale at like 40% off at the time. I did not expect anything from it, and just like Guitar Hero Rock Band, this game is extremely simple, but unlike those 2 other games, you only have 2 buttons on your left hand, and you have your trigger finger on your right hand as your pick. When you're using your left hand, that index finger, your trigger finger, is that tiny little bar, and you do have to hold it and keep it in that position. When you move your guitar up, that whole thing moves with you. So it is actually all about precision and keeping that spot right there. So that does feel really good. And that middle finger is the 3 fingers that you're seeing there, that giant bar. And when you see that index finger and that middle finger change colors, all that is it's telling you to turn your wrist this way, and then you're hitting that index finger or middle. That's it. But do that while you're trying to keep your finger in that exact same position and then combining your 2 fingers at the same time. I found what was really weird, is that when you're holding your pick with your trigger finger, I play guitar in real life, it doesn't feel natural. You know, there's this giant gap in between my thumb and my index finger. So what I found worked really well, just saying, hold your controller down here and I pinch my fingers here or here like this. I'm not touching that middle finger button, I'm just holding the controller. In game, it shows my hand is open. However, when I'm strumming, it's connecting to the strings, everything's working. That was a game-changing experience for me to hold the controller that way versus squeezing that pick. That trigger finger just felt super thick, like I'm holding an eraser or something as I'm trying to play guitar. Very weird. The moment I did that, all of a sudden my scores just instantly increased, and I gotta say, out of the 2 songs, I've scored number 7 in the world. And I have to say this every time, when you play these rhythm-based music games, when you play on the harder levels, the hard and the experts, it is actually easier because you're hitting note for note. I do find when you're playing on the easier settings, you're waiting to hit the actual beat when you're already hearing it. You know the song, so it actually stifles you, if that's the best way to describe it. But do start on the easy or normal just to get a feel for it. But I highly encourage you, do push yourself right away, because you'll find that you'll hit those notes a lot faster and it'll feel far more natural. Jam out to 45 plus rock hits in 4 difficulty modes. And I'm showing you a list of songs that are included with this game. Again, this is just a handful of stuff, so when I jumped into it, I didn't expect these very popular licensed songs to be in there. So again, right away, I instantly got hooked, hearing the songs I'm familiar with and then playing to them. So I cannot recommend it enough. If you love the Rock Band, the Guitar Hero, this game, Unplugged air guitar at 50% off is an absolute win for sure. And now's the time to go all in and get everything for one of my favorite music-based rhythm games to date with Synth Riders, plus complete music collection, and it's currently 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. And this of course includes the base game with all of the DLC, which is 16 music packs featuring 80 additional songs, and 7 of those songs have an exclusive PSVR2 experience that takes it to the next level. 1,500 people have rated the base game 4.67 out of 5 stars, with 93% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, and me giving this 5 out of 5 hands down. That said, if you're a PlayStation Plus Premium member, the base game is already a part of your catalog, so I highly recommend getting the Synth Riders Complete Music Collection add-on pack instead, as that includes all of the DLC for those that already own the base game, and it's currently 30% off as well. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. And now I'm going to quickly go over all of the DLC featured for Synth Riders when you get either the bundle or the add-on pack. And don't forget to pause the screen, that way you can read each of the songs that you're getting in here. Otherwise, I'm just going to go through this really quick. Starting with the latest DLC, Current Waves. The next DLC is an immersive experience for Barbie, Dance and Dream, which is performed by 50/50 featuring Callie from Barbie the Album. 80s Mixtape Side A. '80s Mixtape Side B. The Electro Swing Essentials Pack. Electro Swing Essentials 2. Gorillaz Music Pack. League of Legends, which does include its own unique experience mode, which is awesome apparently. The Adrenaline Music Pack plus Experience. Caravan Palace Music Pack. The Groovin' Essentials Music Pack, which does include Bruno Mars, a few of his songs. The Synthwave Essentials 2, and yet another pack with that PSVR2 experience. Synthwave Essentials 3. The Cyberpunk Essentials Music Pack. The Muse Music Pack, and this pack does include that PSVR2 experience. And the Lindsay Sterling Music Pack, and here's another one with that PSVR2 experience mode. Really quick, the game is super simple to play. You have 2 balls as your hands, 1 of each color. You have to connect that ball with the same color ball on screen. And then you have these tracks that you're just having the ball hit and you follow that track. Super simple stuff. However, when you hit a ball, connecting it and you hit it dead on, you'll get more points. And then you can add modifiers with force, giving you more points. So the more power you put into it, the more points you'll get out of it. When you see a yellow ball, all you're doing is connecting both hands together, and that makes yellow. When you see a green ball, you get to choose left or right hand, and you have to finish the rest of the greens with that same hand. That is it. That's the whole game, aside from dodging any panel that comes your way, forcing you to dance and move your body. And unlike any other game, I really felt that the more I danced with the music, because I don't dance at all in real life, the easier the game became. So instead of just, being rigid and stiff, you can see I just totally let go, and all of a sudden everything started working. So amazing, so kick-ass, such a great workout, so much fun. You can now become a pro goaltender and aim for the best clean sheet in history by shutting out real-life footballers in CleanSheet Football, and it's 15% off. Over 220 people have rated this 3.94 out of 5 stars, with 74% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% did give this 1 star. Now that said, they do offer additional exercises along with gloves and some other stuff as separate DLC, as well as an Ultimate Edition, but they're not on sale right now. Quite simply, become a pro goalkeeper using the best VR soccer game on PSVR2. Aim for the best clean sheet in history by shutting out real-life footballers in this thrilling VR sports app. You can improve your soccer skills in these ways. Play quickfire mode, where you block thousands of high-speed shots. See how you stack up in the global leaderboards, set your own weekly fitness goals, and track how many calories you've burned while aiming for the top score. Awesome. In set play mode, you can challenge yourself against shots recreated from real-life goals. You can also enhance your skills by unlocking additional packs for practicing headers, volleys, free kicks, corners, or even nail-biting penalty saves. From the developers that brought you CleanSheet Football, get ready to put your agility to the ultimate test in DodgeCraft, and it's currently 15% off. Only 32 people have rated this 4.34 out of 5 stars, with 81% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Blending high-octane fun and full-body workout, DodgeCraft is perfect for fans of dodgeball, rugby, or football. And right here you're seeing Cussman's gameplay footage of the game mode called Dodge 'em, where you're facing an oncoming asteroid belt and seeing how long you can dodge to survive. I'm also seeing Cussman hitting clusters of rocks while grabbing some balls and throwing them in a side basket there, while weaving away at the same time. The other game mode is called Run the Gauntlet, where you simply defend your zone from relentless robots trying to breach your defenses by pushing, shoving, and punching these pesky foes off the ledge to show them who's boss. Are you ready to rise to the challenge? If you're still unsure, be sure to check out more of Cussman's gameplay footage for a better feel of what to expect. I've left a link in the description, that way you guys can check it out for yourself. Swing and throw yourself freely across spacey jungle gym playgrounds in Toss, and it's 50% off. Over 180 people have rated this 4.26 out of 5 stars, with 84% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. The whole premise of the game is that you've simply crash landed on a cloud planet and need to collect parts to repair your ship as you launch yourself around 75 plus playground levels in 9 vibrant cloudscape biomes and rank up to become a Toss Master. It touts to be the VR game that uniquely captures agility, timing, and gamer skill required to play the beloved platformer classics. Try to race against the clock with Time Attack, find as many bananas as possible, or master as few grabs as possible each round. You can also compete socially by time and rank, and follow your friends' leaderboard's ghosts, just like the Mario Kart time trials. And don't forget, there's modifiers like Zero Gravity and Double Toss by becoming a Toss Master. I've only heard great things about this game whenever it's been on sale, and a few parents now have mentioned that it's a blast to play, passing the headset around with the kids. Humanity is a unique blend of puzzle solving and action platforming, and it's 50% off. That said, if you're a PlayStation Plus Extra member, this game is already in your catalog, so do not buy this. With over 3,000 people rating it 4.19 out of 5 stars, 79% of the audience gave this 4 or 5 out of 5. This is a unique blend of puzzle solving and action platforming. Humanity puts the fate of all mankind in your hands. So yeah, you are literally a dog charged with commanding massive marching crowds to jump, turn, push, float, shoot, and climb their way to salvation. Guide the masses through 90 plus stages filled with obstacles, enemies, puzzles, unlockable skills, and wild boss fights in the narrative campaign. Very cool. Or you can browse a wide array of user-made levels or build your own, crafted via the super easy-to-use in-game stage creator. Talk about awesome replayability there. You know, that alone just intrigues me. And this is a flat-screen game that included a VR option mode, so you can play this on flat screen if you choose to, but I have no idea why you would. Anyone in the comment section that owns this game and plays it or has any experience whatsoever, should we pick this up at that sale price?
Hello? Philip, I'm in trouble. It's the magician.
The virtually hand-painted Retropolis 2 Never Say Goodbye is currently 67% off. Over 100 people have rated this 4.49 out of 5 stars, with 86% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. The story is set a year after the events depicted in The Secret of Retropolis, and continues the story of Philip Logg, the hard-boiled robo-detective, and Jenny Montage, the automated femme fatale that just can't keep herself out of trouble. Using Philip Logg's extendo arms, the player is able to collect items from afar, use them to overcome obstacles, and move the plot forward. And get this, the entire game has been meticulously hand-painted within the VR space, boasting an astonishing 2.5 million virtual brushstrokes, making every moment a stunningly detailed piece of art.
You gotta bleed for this if you want to be the best. Let's find out what you're made of.
Step into the ring and immerse yourself in the pulse-pounding excitement of cinematic boxing with Creed Rise to Glory Championship Edition, and it's 60% off, which is for the first time actually cheaper than paying that upgrade fee if you own this on the PSVR1. Over 1,300 people have rated this 3.86 out of 5 stars, with 71% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I gotta say, from my experience here, for me on the PSVR1, it was incredible to play anything like that, to be able to stand in the spot, duck, dodge, weave, punch, uppercut, and hit with accuracy. Actually get a full-fledged workout just being in the gym, not even boxing somebody online. The one takeaway I really disliked about the first one is you did have to use your hands like a speed bag to go forward and to go backwards. And I understand you didn't have any joysticks on the PSVR1 to do that, so it was intuitive at the time. The fact that I can use these joysticks now moving backwards and still blocking and throwing punches, man, that sounds amazing. And to think this is 4K HDR OLED display, there is a substantial upgrade to this game. Speaking of which, you can pay the upgrade fee if you do own this on the PSVR1, and I do think it's a little cheaper than the actual sale price here. And for those of you that didn't know what this game was about, you literally are playing Creed from the movies, and you're training with Rocky Balboa, literally having these training exercises in the gym, legit awesome exercises, and then based on your performance on your training, you'll have more stamina going into your next boxing fight. So it's not just sake of doing these practice runs, it's forcing you to do really well in your practice so you're actually better in your boxing match altogether, which is an awesome mechanic. Seriously, very cool. And it tires you out before you go to face the character next time, so it's crazy. It gets you to actually slow down. And unlike the PSVR 1, again, this does have cross-platform support, which is integral to, to have somebody to fight online. That was one of the big problems on PSVR 1. In order for me to get that platinum, I needed to beat somebody online, and it ended up being my wife. I will never forget, she was Mr. T, and she came at me like speed bag motion, standing there. It was the weirdest thing to see the avatar do this. I was crying, laughing on the ground. I couldn't throw punches because I literally was weak, feeble on the ground. I'm trying to get my platinum, and she was beating the crap out of me. I'm like, no, you have to let me win. Just let me get my platinum. Crazy. So yeah, I definitely need to have a rematch with her on the PSVR 2. So again, this does have the story mode, but it is claiming to have an expanded story inspired by Creed 3. So very cool. Of course, you can do the free play mode where you can just face whoever you want, wherever you want for fun. Fitness options where you crush personal health goals to set time and calorie targets. And then that cross-platform player versus player. Amazing. And for those of you that want everything this game has to offer, they do have the Creed Rise to Glory Championship Deluxe Edition on sale at 60% off as well, making this substantially cheaper than that upgrade fee. With the Deluxe Edition, all you're getting are these glow costumes I'm showing you right here. It's a separate DLC. It says that it makes your trunks and your gloves glow, so it might be really neat in the 4K HDR. I don't think the aprons or any of the actual arena is glowing, but I'm not too sure. With a really rough launch, thankfully, Bulletstorm VR has been heavily patched for the PSVR 2, and it's currently 49% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 1% more, making it 50% off total. That's weird. The score continues to go up since that last patch, with 385 people rating it 3.46 out of 5 stars, with 58% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 22% gave this 1 star. And for those of you like me that didn't play it back in the day, Bulletstorm VR is a brutal first-person shooter that puts you in the ass-kicking boots of the hot-headed space mercenary Grayson Hunt. Get the hands-on creative carnage experience with classic, fast-paced gunplay and devastating melee combos powered by fully redesigned controls for VR. As an exiled member of the elite assassin group Dead Echo, blinded by a thirst for vengeance, Grayson gets stranded in a hostile world where he has to confront the ex-commander who betrayed him. And with the latest game update, they have a brand new horror mode where you lay waste in waves upon waves of enemies across 3 arenas of death in your bid to become the highest scoring kill machine on the leaderboards. And for the first time ever, you get to lace up as the legendary badass mercenary named Trishka, exclusively in Bulletstorm VR. Dual wield your new energy blade weapons to carve your way through mutated hordes in 2 brand new levels. Use power kicks, slides, charged shots, explosives, and your environment to execute a symphony of skill shots. Aim for maximum carnage combos to ramp your rewards and unlock new abilities, charge shots, and ammo capacity. And with VR, you can take all the weapons to the next level with exclusive dual wielding in VR. See an enemy out of reach? Pull them closer to admire the barrel of your gun, or fling them into oncoming bullets for some not so friendly fire. So it sounds and looks like a blast to play, and to know that the developers came out and talked about where they screwed up in their trailers is amazing. I love that transparency, super cool. And just saying, any developer that is transparent and speaks about where they want to become better, that only entices me or encourages me to want to check out their content more. Live the life of a rock star in Hotel R&R, and it's 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. Over 350 people have rated this 4.2 out of 5 stars, with 82% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 12% gave this 1 star. This VR rock simulator encourages bad behavior. Sell your soul to the devil, smash up hotels, and become infamous. Pressure from hotel staff and your own limp wrists are against you, but with over 36 weapons and a world tour ahead of you, it's time to get creative. Each hotel is a playground of physics-based demolition, with time to explore and plan your strategy before lighting the fireworks and trying to keep the manager out. With a hellish pawn shop of weirdly satisfying weapons, including wet fish, cattle prods, C4, and guns, and a stack of challenges to appease the devil, becoming the most infamous takes brains as well as looks. Hit up the varied challenge mode or try out ideas at your own pace in sandbox mode. Interesting. Hotel R&R is a satirical journey of selling your soul and then trying to take it back along the way. There's no shortage of luxury hotels, sarcastic maids, and ragdoll physics mayhem. Are you up to it? Just sign here. If you grew up with the Sega CD and you love the full motion video games, Not for Broadcast VR is supposed to be the best one ever made, and it's 75% off right now. 110 people have rated it 3.86 out of 5 stars, with 70% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 19% did give this 1 star. Now I have to say, I've seen this game on sale a few times now, and I only discovered what the game was about by having to watch these trailers, which I cannot show you without being copyright stricken, so I am going to put them in the description of this video. But just quickly speaking to it, I was blown away as to how mature the whole theme of the game was, and really blown away as to how it does speak to kind of current events going on. So I do highly recommend you check out the 2 trailers in my description. But it does look like it takes the full motion video games to the next level, and in their description it says it is the award-winning darkly comedic game of televised chaos that critics have called a bizarre masterpiece and quite possibly the best FMV game ever. Not for Broadcast VR takes the gameplay, story, and gripping dark comedy of the original award-winning FMV adventure and brings you closer to the news than ever before. I'd never played the original, so I have nothing to compare this to. Get a full view of the entire newsroom, interact with your equipment, and punch, slap, and grab everything that dares to get between you and the truth. Egotistical celebrities, dishonest politicians, and strange sponsors clash on the airwaves. You're in the chair to ensure that the show goes on uninterrupted. The whole concept is that you're supposed to keep the general public entertained with your editing skills and keep an eye on those ratings. Make politicians look greedy or brave. Make resistance leaders look noble or violent. And make news anchors look charming or unhinged. Who and what you decide to show on screen might change the course of history. Very cool. Tune out the chaos, load up the ads, crank up the volume, and immerse yourself in the dreams, fears, hopes, and neurosis of an entire nation, all while sitting on your floor. Again, I highly recommend you do check out those 2 trailers in my description. DYSCHRONIA Chronos Alternate Bundle is a collection of 3 episodes in one, and it's 60% off right now. 120 people rated this 4.24 out of 5 stars, with 77% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. You live in Astrum Close, an artificial marine city sealed off from the outside world under a vast dome. This safe haven is seen as the last paradise for humanity as it stands on the brink of destruction. Astrum Close is a scientifically advanced city that has a 0.001% crime rate. Revolutionary new technology predicts crime before it ever happens, thanks to the tireless efforts of city founder Albert Rumford. But the very foundations of Astrum Close are shaken when Rumford himself is found murdered in a crime that by all rights should have not been possible. Your name is Halcyon, and you are an investigator with a difference. You are known as a variant human, a person who has the unique ability to both see into and alter the past. And your unique skills are exactly what is needed now. But if you're unsure and you don't want to get the entire package and you want to buy the individual episodes, you can, with episode 1 currently 50% off. But from everything I'm reading, the entire game actually picks up at the end of episode 1, and it really starts to get going on episode 2, and that is currently on sale at 50% off. And of course, they are offering episode 3 at 50% off as well. But just saying, again, everyone everywhere who has played DYSCHRONIA has said just get the alternate bundle. Don't waste your time getting the individual episodes.
It happened unexpected.
And if you're looking for a first-person shooter with a lengthy campaign, apparently Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare is that game, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Over 200 people have rated it 4.73 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And the key takeaway I keep hearing about this is that the gun mechanics, the gameplay, is just a lot of fun. This is an 8-hour campaign with over 12 unique VR guns with manual reloading for each. And you can totally customize your guns with scopes, grips, and lasers, with over 30 weapon skins to unlock throughout the game. At an excavation site close to the Bugland border, a mysterious cave is uncovered when the Bug Army launches a sudden assault. They're after something that is inside the cave, something so precious that it sparks an all-out war. Step into the role of Cactus Cowboy, pushing back against the Bug Army and revealing the sinister plans of their leaders. Sounds simple enough, but again, I actually did end up getting this on sale last time and put about 3 hours into it, so I'm about 1/3 of the way through the campaign, and it's decent so far. That's the best way to put it, considering I haven't played it fully. But do keep in mind that this is a budget title for sure, and it does show, but the gunplay is good so far. I will have to spend more time in this to give it a fair review, but it's hard to recommend with all of the other awesome games that are currently on sale right now. Mixture is another platformer for the PSVR2, and it's 67% off right now. Only 46 people have rated it 4.04 out of 5 stars, with 74% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% gave this 2 stars. And I have to say, I did start playing this game, and I put in maybe 4 or 5 hours into it, and as you're seeing the ratings right here, I do feel completely mixed right now. But it just has enough for me to go, oh, you know, that's actually really cool. Picture playing a moss-based game where you're seeing your little guy running around and you can attack and stuff, but at the same time, I'm using a weapon wheel by holding a button down, and I choose a specific potion that I'm making, one of them being like glue, and then I throw it on the enemy or enemies, and throwing the actual bottle, you can choose between aim assist and no aim assist. I actually went no aim assist, and I gotta say, the tracking's awesome. I was able to actually throw these bottles and connect them to the enemies there without any problem, so I was very happy about that. Games like Moss and stuff didn't offer that, so it is giving something new, but it does feel like a Quest 2 game. You know, the actual graphics aren't that great. They're really bare bones. I feel like Moss on PSVR1 looked way better than this, what I remember. And the frame rate, when I'm moving the guy around, it doesn't feel silky smooth, and you would expect that with this bare bones looking game. So yeah, the frame rate not even perfectly smooth. Or in mid combat, I'm having to look literally straight down, hurting my neck straight down trying to see what's going on. So you can totally tell this game is not polished, but it is introducing these new concepts I've never seen before in other games. So, you know, I still feel like I have to put some time into it to see if there's anything else to speak to about this. But right now, I just didn't like that frame rate. It wasn't perfectly smooth, and that throws me off when I'm totally used to that on most of the games now on PSVR2.
You had never heard of Happy Funland Theme Park.
Now, I can say from experience, Happy Funland was not fun and did not make me happy whatsoever. And it's currently 53% off. Over 200 people have rated this 3.86 out of 5 stars, with 70% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. But I have to say, I am not one of them. I did get a free review key at launch, so I covered it immediately, and it was littered with bugs. No joke. It was actually almost unplayable for me when I found the jankiness. The frame rate was so bad and inconsistent throughout. Really, really disliked it. As much as I usually go on and on about all the problems that were with the game, you can check out my review video. I go on and on about it, literally. And I did say it in my video, even with all the problems being fixed, I don't think I can recommend this. So yes, please, 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 please check out the video. I don't want to talk about it for 5 more minutes when you can actually just go take a gander yourself and see whether or not you'd like this. Bend and twist reality in this VR puzzle adventure, A Fisherman's Tale. And it's 67% off. Over 700 people have rated this 4.38 out of 5 stars, with 86% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And yes, back in the day, I have not played it on PSVR2. It was a lot of fun on PSVR1. It was a Russian doll-based environmental puzzle game where you're seeing yourself in the micro and macro version and having to work with yourself to solve the puzzle. So very cool concept back in the day. Loved it. I do believe this would be just as fun, if not look much better, on the PSVR2, and the tracking. You can use your whole body to turn. That's probably going to work, I would assume. But I don't know if I can recommend anyone getting it nowadays with all the different games going on, even during this sale. But if you want this and the latest game released on the PSVR2, they currently have the Fisherman's Tales bundle, and it's 67% off. And with this bundle, you are getting A Fisherman's Tale and A Fisherman's Tale 2. 260 people have rated this 4.07 out of 5 stars, with 77% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And what makes this one unique is that you solve puzzles using your own body, detaching and controlling your limbs, and finding new attachments to progress throughout the game.
So, you want to hear a story?
Crimin, Mercenary Tales, has you embark on 8 epic adventures filled with daring feats, ancient puzzles, and thrilling escapades. And it's 65% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 70% off total. Only 29 people have rated it 3.83 out of 5 stars, with 69% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% gave this 1 or 2 stars. Experience visually stunning comic book graphics and enjoy the hilarious banter of quirky characters as you journey through this captivating adventure. Engage in breathtaking sword fights, wield truly unconventional weapons, and use the environment to your advantage. This includes 8 enticing adventures narrated by 8 lively characters, each with their own unique flair. This has a treasure trove of humor, hidden secrets, and nods to beloved pop culture, and allows you to unlock over 100 achievements as you conquer challenges and uncover hidden treasures. And other than the PlayStation Store description, I really have no idea what the game is about, whether it's a roguelike or if it's only a few hours long. Anyone in the comments section, if you can speak to this, whether or not we should get this at the sale price, that would be awesome.
Back for more stories.
Very well. Good.
It's not only a video game, it's real tennis. This is Tennis on Court, and it's 50% off right now. Over 220 people rated this 3.5 out of 5 stars, with 58% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% gave this 1 star. Claiming to have real tennis engineers working on the game, everything from the racket, all the tennis equipment is used by top players on the ATP and WTA tours. You're gonna lift, slice, drop shot, retro, perform all those effects and feel like a real tennis player. At the core gameplay, you do have arcade or realistic. That's awesome that you can choose between that. Very cool. You do have 3 different types of moving, such as teleport, automatic, and manual. Interesting about the automatic, I'm assuming it snaps you right to where you need to be to swing that ball. That is a very cool option for those of you that don't want to have to move your joystick. Very neat. 13 rackets with different characteristics to match with your playstyle. You're going to get 6 incredible stadiums with different evolution surfaces such as clay, grass, and hard. As well, you'll have 5 assists to help you to perform. Service hit assist, position assist, ball trajectory correction, and more. And there's also a spectator mode to watch your friends or future opponents performing in live. So even though this game claims to be all about the realism, the simulation aspect, from everything I'm hearing in the past, when you're playing somebody online, the negative here is that you're seeing their avatar react like half a second later. So the ball will be hit and then you see the rubber banded arm move and you kind of get thrown off by it and then you're swinging too late or something. Anyone in the comments section, if you do own this game, please let us know whether or not that's been corrected when you're playing people online. Do you hate spiders? Then you might want to check out Kill It With Fire VR, cause it's 75% off. Almost 500 people have rated this 3.58 out of 5 stars, with 62% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 24% gave this 1 star. That said, if you're a PlayStation Premium member, you can totally try the game for a full hour to see whether or not this game is for you. The game claims to feature tons of unique weapons and equipment with 8 different spider species, realistic fire simulation system, there are dozens of optional objectives, don't know how that works, with loads of hidden upgrades, and then you can battle in the Arachno Gauntlet. Again, I wish I knew what that was. And then it claims to have a secret ending. From everything I'm seeing here in the trailer, it just looks like a classic roguelike pick up and play arcade action style game, which, you know, I've always enjoyed typically. But I don't think this game will scare me. Anybody in the comments section, if you can please speak up whether or not we should get this game at the sale price, that would be awesome.
Try this a new way.
Use fun and unique poses while punching and dodging obstacles in O-Shape Ultimate, and it's 45% off. Under 100 people rated this 3.65 out of 5 stars, with 72% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 19% gave this 1 star. With a renewed look and lots of extra content, get your full body cardio workout with 6 new sessions and 2 difficulty levels designed to make you sweat and engage every part of your body. This claims to have modern and dynamic looks and a much friendlier onboarding for new users. I've never played the original before, so I don't know what to compare that to, but it touts to be a great gateway in the VR rhythm world, and it's also a real challenge for the most seasoned players. And this does include the Electro Pack DLC that was sold separately on the PSVR1 back in the day. Anyone in the comments, if you owned it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should get this at this awesome sale price. Feel the finesse of your swing, jab, and hooks in Beat the Beats VR, and it's 40% off. Over 570 people have rated this 3.45 out of 5 stars, with 56% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% gave this 1 star. Use actual boxing moves like crosses, rolls, and uppercuts to blast your way through a series of electrifying musical levels and climb the leaderboards. Unlock new genres, complete daily challenges, and build your skill in rhythm boxing. For the serious competitor, there's also an extra challenging B-side for each track that'll make you sweat to master. So it does tout to have a lot of replayability, but if you're unsure, you can check out the Beat the Beats VR demo on the PlayStation Store right now.
We just got a call from the Black Rose Mental Hospital in Craven Lane 11. Any of you nearby?
Afterlife VR is another adventure-based horror game, and it's 50% off right now. 160 people have rated this 3.19 out of 5 stars, with a completely mixed bag, but most people giving it 3, 4, or 5 out of 5. As Adam Bernhard, a young rookie police officer on a night patrol, you receive a call that will change your life forever. Uncover secrets hidden deep within the Black Rose Mental Hospital walls, where most of the patients pose a great danger. What is really lurking behind the door of a well-known mental facility, where Adam's younger sister Allison was recently sent? Is there any connection between missing patients and hospital workers, and the groundbreaking study about the Indigo Children phenomena? Uncover the secrets hidden deep within the Black Rose Mental Hospital walls, where most of the patients pose a threat to themselves and to others. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics, and it's 50% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 65% off total. Over 125 people have rated this 3.21 out of 5 stars with a completely mixed bag here. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. For those of you that remember the Mega Man, this one's called System Critical 2, and it's 75% off right now. Over 220 people have rated it 4 out of 5 stars, with 72% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 16% did give this 1 star. And that said, from personal experience, I have put in a few hours into this already. I'm probably 1/3 of the way through, and even though I'm always open-minded to what I'm about to play, you know, I did go in and I felt like I was kind of pushing myself through it. The challenge and the difficulty is absolutely there. It was okay to move around, okay to shoot, but the game feels okay to me. Even at 80% off for a few bucks, that's really still hard for me to recommend when I haven't gone back to play the rest of the game personally. So it's not that it was buggy or glitchy. I didn't feel like I had to keep going back. I felt like I actually had to cover it and continue going through it. But maybe the game picks up halfway through. I have no idea. Anyone who owns the game has beaten System Critical 2. Can you let us know whether or not everyone should get this game at the sale price? Personally, I'm saying right now, no, I would hold off. I mean, even at a few bucks, I still feel like you could put it towards another game and get a lot more value out of it. But, you know, at a few bucks, you may roll the dice, see if you like it or not. But definitely, it's not a next-gen VR experience. No way. Gorilla Attack and Bridge the Gap are now bundled together, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Rampage through a sprawling cityscape, smashing buildings, tossing cars, and leaving a trail of destruction in Gorilla Attack. Only 68 people have rated this 3.19 out of 5 stars, with over half of the audience giving this 3, 2, or 1 out of 5 stars. Now, I cannot speak to this game from personal experience, but I can say I highly recommend you guys check out Without Parole's quick 2 or 3 minute review on the game, and I'm going to leave a link in the description because I do think he does an excellent job and totally informs you of what you should expect if you decide to get this game at that sale price. Introducing yet another take on the Lemmings formula with modern VR mechanics, this is Bridge the Gap. Only 15 people have rated this 3.8 out of 5 stars, with 67% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And the whole premise of the game is that you're a friendly spirit entity tasked with helping these little monkeys find their way through the mysterious Bricklands. You must create safe passages between portals as you lead the monkeys to safety, helping them overcome all environmental obstacles along the way. And this touts to have 5 unique settings with 80 varied levels, with more coming soon. And even though the game's been out for just a little while, I've only heard great things about it so far. Anyone in the comments section, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. Now, if you just want Gorilla Attack, it's currently on sale at 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. The next game was Upload VR's Game of the Year for 2022, but I personally think it's the worst game on PSVR2. What the bat? And it's 60% off, with 174 people rating it 3.89 out of 5 stars. 68% of the audience gave this 4 or 5 out of 5. That said, my experience totally different. I personally feel that this game actually hurts how people view games in VR and what to expect, because man, I gotta say, this was absolutely atrocious when it comes to gameplay and fun factor. I mean, every level, and there are 100 of them, and I went through the entire game for everybody. I actually covered this. You can see a thumbnail right there, literally showing you what to expect if you go to buy this game. I honestly don't think I can recommend this to people with children. I felt that, yes, everything was really lackluster is the best way to describe it. Even though the game worked, you know, the controls did work, I would give this 2 out of 5. If something was glitchy or if the game bugged out, it would have scored a 1, but everything about it I really disliked. Again, with over 100 unique levels of slapstick comedy and craziness, that's not what I felt whatsoever. Brushing my teeth with a bat, you know, I'm not laughing out loud. That was a task, literally, out of the 100 things. Including 9 chapters with unique settings and baseball challenges. No, they're not baseball challenges. You're literally just swinging your bat and it hits the ball, and there's really no accuracy going on whatsoever that I found, truly. With approximately 4 hours of playtime, but remember to take breaks. Yeah, I don't even know, like within the first 20 minutes, I knew I wasn't going to like the game, just being honest. And I was going in pretty open-minded. So yes, I highly encourage you, please check out my video. And that game was given to me as a free review key. Again, thank you so much, Triband, for sending me a review key, because I wouldn't have checked it out and I wouldn't have known what to expect other than what Upload VR gave this Game of the Year for 2022. The original text-based RPG from the 70s is back in VR in Colossal Cave VR, and it's 60% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 65% off total. Only 58 people have rated this 3.86 out of 5 stars, with 70% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Embark on a timeless journey through a sprawling cave system packed with treasures, creatures, mazes, and wits-defying puzzles. The great grandpappy of adventure games will test you and tickle your problem-solving skills as you unearth its plot and secrets. Through cunning trial and error, you will crawl through tight squeezes, encounter impressive caverns, collect inventory, locate treasure, thwart dwarf attacks, all while keeping your eye on the score before your lamp goes out. Very interesting. This groundbreaking game is considered one of the most influential in history, establishing conventions that have become standard in the adventure genre. It has been ported to just about every computer and console, played by millions, and inspired by many other games, books, movies, and TV series. Very interesting. Again, I never played this game growing up, have no attachment to it whatsoever. But for those of you that do and want everything to be able to play this on your PS4, PS5, or PSVR2, you can get the Colossal Cave game bundle, and it's 60% off as well. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 65% off total. Suicide Guy is back in VR in Suicide Guy VR Deluxe Edition, and it's 57% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 62% off total. Over 230 people rated this 2.45 out of 5 stars, with under half the audience giving this 1 star and a quarter of them giving it 5 stars. This is a puzzle-based game where I believe you're always falling asleep and you're trying to wake up from your nightmare by solving the puzzle and essentially committing suicide, I think. The actual store description says, find out the new custom levels that take full advantage of VR. Will your heart be able to take all these deaths at once? It's a first-person puzzle game like no other, where you'll have to find the way out of your own dreams using objects and tools that you'll obtain during your nap. This touts that it features new awesome levels that take full advantage of VR, full body locomotion, total physics control of all items, new incredible moves, be able to pick up items, throw them, activate mechanisms, and even burp. I'm assuming there was a flat screen game for this, and this is the VR description. A driving system designed for VR, teleport movement style extra option, and an important mission to accomplish. And the deluxe version just simply states that it was redesigned for PSVR2, taking advantage of the new controls, but really not much more specific than that. Trip, a new way to meditate, is 30% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 40% off total. Under 400 people have rated it 2.43 out of 5 stars, with 47% giving this 1 star, but 20% did give this 5 stars. Since the last time this was on sale, I do have to give a quick shout out to Mundane Morsel here in the comments section saying, man, Trip is awful. I wish people would speak out about it more. Easily my most regrettable PSVR purchase. I understand that graphics aren't everything, but it looks atrocious. Also, most apps are far cheaper and accomplish much more if you're searching for therapeutic relaxation. And I do have to say, I totally understand where they're coming from, because Toy Trains for me was something that I felt took me away from the worries of the day and had me wanting more at the end of each day. Where Trip feels more like a chore where you have to constantly log in and evaluate your emotions throughout the entire week and month if you want to take this seriously. This is literally designed to help you breathe at timed intervals with a very soft, slow, methodic voice that guides you through each meditation. It is excellent for what it's designed to do. It is not a game to just sit back and trip out to visuals, looking at something like that. Quite literally, this app is designed to take anywhere. It is very overwhelming to just pop in and see all the different menus going on, all the different exercises. I didn't even know where to start, what to do. And then here I'm learning that you're going to track how you feel each day as you're doing it. Very weird and unique. I did only play this for 45 minutes. Please understand this. And, I was pushing through it because I wanted to play a game not knowing, no, this is forcing me to chill out. At the end of that 45 minutes, I've said this a few times and I'm always talking about it because it really did stand out to me. There was one exercise that had me humming while I was breathing. And I do know that that's an actual medical thing that's supposed to create some sort of nitrous oxide. I think that's like laughing gas or whatever in you to relieve tension or something. Not a doctor, can't speak to it, but I definitely felt that the next morning, waking up going, why do I feel very calm and relaxed and lightheaded? And, I associate that with doing this right before going to bed that night. So very weird, very cool. Totally think it will will help so many of you out there who do need to force yourself to stop and breathe. Again, that timed interval thing. I was out of breath when you have to force yourself to wait for that moment to breathe in and hold. It's crazy how it is an exercise, literally. It's so weird to say that, but I'm very grateful that they did send me the keys so I could speak to this, knowing this is meant to help you meditate. It's not a game, literally. And right when you load the game, they get you to enter in your demographics or psychographics. That way it's on a mobile app and you can take with you everywhere. So yeah, again, an exercise app essentially. As a rookie guardian angel, your job is to help a girl achieve her earnest dream in Idolmaker VR, and it's 15% off right now. Only 12 people have rated this 2.08 out of 5 stars, with 3 people giving it 5, 1 gave it 2, and 8 people gave this 1 star. As her guardian angel, you have 5 years to realize her dream before the girl becomes an adult. Develop her idol dreams through various experiences and training methods. All sorts of futures await depending on your guidance. Take part in regular auditions to show the judges all the talents you've honed thus far. It's good to achieve these big dreams, but it's also important to help raise a healthy adult. Check and utilize her condition stats to balance training and a healthy lifestyle, while creating a systematic development plan for the girl's future. Really weird. That totally sounds different than anything I've seen before, but I can't help but notice from this gameplay that it looks a lot like point and click with a laser pointer instead of VR interactions. But again, I've never played this before, so I can't say anything from personal experience. Anyone in the comments section, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. And the game with currently the worst PSVR2 rating on the PlayStation Store, this is Flight Simulator Delivery 2025, and it's currently 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. 335 people have already rated this 1.36 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 1 star, and the rest completely mixed there. I've never played the game and have no desire to, as I would instantly recommend getting Ultra Wings 2, and of course Aces of Thunder whenever that comes out. But I do have to give a shout out to Jammy Hero for doing this video you're seeing here in the thumbnail, going over what's truly unacceptable on the PlayStation Store right now, with a couple games that are falsely advertising game mechanics within their trailers that aren't actually in their game. Super shitty. I highly recommend you guys check out Jammy Hero's video if you haven't already, and his channel for everything PSVR2 pretty much daily. And props to Jammy for leading me to check out Mr. Deathwish VR's channel by showing his actual gameplay footage for Flight Sim 2025. I totally enjoyed Mr. Deathwish VR's impressions, showing exactly what's wrong with the game in just a couple minutes and giving me everything I needed to know. Awesome. That said, everyone, I highly recommend you check out Mr. Deathwish VR's video on this so you can see for yourself why you should totally avoid the game. I'll leave links in the description for both his video and Jammy Hero's. Thanks so much to the two of them for spreading the word so we don't accidentally waste our time and money. Very much appreciated. And still riding the rails of Mr. Deathwish VR's rant on shitty games, I got a chuckle of watching his experience with Space Fist, and it's 40% off, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 20% more, making it 60% off total. Only 11 people have rated it so far, 2.18 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving it 1 star, and the rest evenly mixed there. That said, I highly recommend you just go and check out that other video by Mr. Deathwish VR that I'm showing you the thumbnail right here, as it gives you a total sense of what to expect. I'll leave a link in the description for that, and thanks again to Mr. Deathwish VR for showing us your experience and why it scored so low in the PlayStation Store. And the last item for sale is DLC for the hugely popular Walkabout Mini Golf, and they're offering one of their courses, Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth, at 75% off. I seriously have to get this sooner than later and play it with the wife, because I'm only hearing amazing things about this game. And that is all of the games and DLC during this Spring Easter sale going on until Wednesday, April 23rd. Please don't forget to check out that other video you made my wife play Madison, because I just need 100 likes, we're at like 60 right now, in order for her to continue playing the rest of the game. And she's getting at that most intense part, so I don't want to spoil anything, but man, I absolutely need you to just go over there and click that like button, seriously. That said, if you guys like the video or any of the sales videos that I produce, please click the like button again. And if you love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.
PlayStation